Hi everyone, welcome to Vlogmas Day 13. Today I'm going to be reading out another one of my really long Facebook rambles. Now, I'll do my best to try and make it sound natural, but I am going to be reading off a screen, so please bear with me if it takes a little bit of effort for my brain to convert the text into sound. This one is 1,355 words long, including the title, and it's called I Think the Time Has Come for Me to Join a New Band. So, I haven't quite decided the specifics. Do I join an existing band, start one from scratch, and what genre or sound am I looking for? I don't know, but I've been thinking about it and talked to my mum about it, and I think it's just time I went for it. I can work out all these questions on the fly. I've talked to some of you guys, my friends on Facebook, I've talked to some of you guys as well about the idea, and the people who know me best have tended to think I should stay solo. And it kind of makes sense. I'm not particularly social, I generally prefer to stay home, and I pretty much have the skills to do all the main things I need to, from producing the music through to promo and performance. I even come up with some pretty different sounding stuff. But I'm not really talking about dropping my solo project, I just think I need more. See, there are a lot of problems with me trying to be a solo artist. For one thing, I don't get much done unless I have a strong deadline that exists outside myself. Writing and performing my music, did that because I had to for uni. Getting my EP finished and released, did that to get it into my uni's graduation exhibition. Hard deadlines are the only reason I got anything done. I haven't written a single song more than what I needed to this year. The same is pretty true of my visual art as well. I'm about to start a new painting, but only because I know my local gallery's show is coming up early next year, and I need to have something finished in time for that. So what's different about being in a band? People. People who I don't want to let down. People who will expect me to do the work on time and high quality, or else they'll kick me out. And right now I really do need some solid motivation to keep working on music. I haven't even been practicing my vocals lately, even though I spent so much time and effort learning to growl when people said I'd never be able to. But I just can't be bothered. I can barely even listen to music right now. Nothing is moving me. I'm in a terrible state of inertia, and it's driving me a little, in brackets, more insane. And yeah, I know I could just sign up to play more gigs solo so that I'd have to practice to make sure I put on a good show for the venue. But to be honest, I'm just not happy with that state of things. I currently only have 20 minutes of solo music. That means I can really only play open mics. And as good as the Townie has been to me, the Townie's a venue that I go to a lot, I'm a little tired of always being out of place in an atmosphere that just doesn't suit me. And I'm not too thrilled with my own music anyway. I chose the topic of asexuality to exploit the wanky bias of my uni, not because I actually care as much as I pretended to. Plus, I'm not even that sold on the sound of my music. At least right now, I'm really missing the heavy guitars, but I suck at guitar too much for that to be viable on my own. Another thing you might ask me is, what about my other projects where I am working with people I don't want to let down? Well, I'm not going to stop doing that sort of thing, and there's one project I actually really like a lot. And as I've mentioned, I'm not even talking about stopping my own solo stuff. I can still whittle away at that in the background if I feel like it. But there are some other issues I've identified that I think make the current state of things less than satisfactory. For example, everything I'm working on, I can do from home. Sounds good until you realize that I'm minimally employed with no need to work more at present, given I've come to an arrangement with Mum regarding oversight of some domestic issues, including Mikey's care situation. I'm always at home. And I don't think it's entirely healthy, not anymore, now that I've recovered from depression and don't really need so much downtime. On top of that, all my projects are moving quite slowly right now. I don't even know if some of the people who wanted to work with me are still interested, or if they still need me in the process. Hell, I can't even remember which people I may have sent files or given permissions to, lol. So I haven't really had anything to do in ages. Can't let people down with your laziness if they didn't ask you to do anything. So, what an actual band offers is a reason to get out of the house once a week, travel to and from Prague, as infuriating as transport is in Sydney, and finally be forced to socialize a little more on a regular basis. Add to that the potential that being in a band has to revitalize my interest in music, get me practicing, and also get me interested in going to more live shows, and I think it just makes the most sense for me. I need something to kick my butt a little in life, and I have to say joining a band sounds like a much better strategy than applying to some soul-destroying job to get me out of the house and back into society. Oh, I need to make that a bit bigger. And that's more or less my reasoning for getting back into the band hunt, or starting one from scratch. Weighing up the options is a bit tricky. An existing band might not quite be my style and I'll just have to suck it up. But starting a new band is kinda hell. You've got to find the right members for one thing, and I've held enough auditions in my lifetime to have experienced the full spectrum of crazy that the music world has to offer. I'll tell you about that one day. But perhaps worse than that is my tendency to take on way too many responsibilities. If it's considered my project, I just can't help it, and it was a big part of my burnout with Rainbow Death Ray. I mean, yeah, I did take on some of that with Winter Gaunt, despite being the newest member, but I didn't do anywhere near as much, and I also didn't feel the stress of perfectionism that I would have if it had been mine. And the responsibility of writing most of the music is the one I dread, to be honest. I want to make heavier music, but I suck at writing it because I suck at guitar. I also find writing the music to be quite stressful. It just doesn't come naturally to me. I'd much rather just be the vocalist, writing the lyrics and melodies to music the rest of the band has written. Of course, I'll always give my input to the music if I'm asked to, but I know what my weaknesses are. The good thing about a band is that together we can all build on each other's strengths. So yeah, one way or another I'm going to do it. Because if I don't do this, well, I'd hate for 2019 to be the year I gave up on music. Too long didn't read. Bands, I'm available to sing and growl for you, preferably both, preferably something metal industrial, like one or the other or both. Please God, no more punk rock bands. I had a few offers earlier in the year and I've decided it's just not my thing. I need something heavier. Oh, and I promise I won't write essays in your group chats, little XD face. P.S. Yeah, probably not going to revive Rainbow Death Ray at this point. I'm in a different headspace and there are too many things I'd want to change, e.g. No more violin. Would be a different band by the time I was done. Might as well start fresh. Alright, so that's what I'm thinking about today. It was easier to just read that out than go on a ramble for like half an hour and miss the point. But yeah, I'm thinking I need to be in a band. I was talking to Mum today and I'm like, I need to do something with my life and I have no motivation, and I mean, I think maybe music is probably a better way to do it than like say art, because you don't really have bands or like band type situations in art. Most people do things on their own, so out of all the things I do, I think band makes the most sense because you're around people. They want you to do the thing. They want you to do it properly. You have to go and rehearse. If you turn up and you're not rehearsed, everyone thinks you're a dick, and I don't want to be a dick. So, yeah, that's the kind of stuff that I'm thinking about. Is that I think there were a few things as I was reading that out that I thought, maybe I should clarify that. But, I really, it'll take me a while to read through, and I'll have to edit all my pauses just to get up to the bit. So maybe I won't bother. If there's anything I think of, I'll write it in the comments, or if you want to ask questions about what I'm thinking, write it in the comments. But yeah, I'm gonna start looking for a band to join, or if with the starting the band thing, I think maybe if someone approached me and was like, hey, do you want to start a band, I'd be like, maybe, and then we could talk and work out if it's going to be viable. But otherwise, I think I'll just try and, audition for a few bands, and if I don't get it, that's fine. At least, even auditioning would get me out of the house and interacting with people and feeling like I'm doing something. So, yeah, there's that. I've also still got Patreon helping motivate me, because, the thing with Patreon is, it motivates me to have something ready to show people every month. And I try and do a small post about halfway through the month, and then my goodies post at the end of the month. But it's not specific to anything. I can just change ideas, do a gazillion projects. No one is saying you have to do one music thing this month. It's up to me to decide what project to do. So probably for this month, if I can get at least some of the painting done, that might make up some of the final post, or maybe it'll make up one of the in-between progress posts. I don't know, I will decide. It's always like, what am I gonna give to my patrons this month? And one of the hard things is I don't get a lot of feedback from most of my patrons, so I'm not really sure what everyone wants from me, or if they're just supporting me to be me, which is also nice. But yeah, I guess it's just hard to decide what to do. So in terms of like music, I don't think Patreon is like the solution. Patreon is a creative solution, like to keep me doing something creative. I've started writing poetry again, so you know, it could be anything. Whereas I think with all this stuff about music considered, that's probably going to be a goal that will help me feel like I'm doing something with my life. So yeah, and like with real people who are right there, it's a different kind of not pressure, I guess pressure in a way, but like it's a different kind of thing. Like if someone on the internet is waiting for you to do something, that's one thing. But if someone is right there and they're like, hey, you should fucking practice, I'm gonna be like, okay, I will fucking practice. Do you get what I'm saying? Yeah. I don't know, let me just quickly scroll back through it. So what do we go through? Blah, 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 blah. The problems with being a solo artist. Yep. What's different about being in a band? The people I don't want to let down. Yep. Yeah, playing gigs solo. Yeah. Oh yeah, all my other projects, like collaborating online. You know, I don't really have to go anywhere, and it honestly doesn't take up enough of my time, even when someone asks me to do something. One of the tricky things is if, say, I have to record vocals, I kind of need to wait for the house to be quiet and for the planes flying overhead to shut up. I don't know how much my microphone would pick up if I recorded when noise is happening, but I try and make it quiet because, like, I don't have a proper studio. I've just got this space. And yeah, I just make sure that the situation is right, that I can record it without noise. So that kind of limits what time of day and when I can record. So if that's all I have to do for a project, what do I do with the rest of my time? Yeah, so that's one of the things about collaborations online, which is mostly what I've been doing. It's not enough. So yeah, that's part of the always being at home thing, and yeah, blah 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 blah. So getting out. Yeah, I know, I should have just edited out all my like scrolling. Starting from scratch. Yeah, starting a band from scratch. Oh my god. Do I want to tell you those stories now, or should I save them? I don't know. It's just like I've actually tried to start more bands than just Rainbow Death Ray. Rainbow Death Ray is the band I started that actually went somewhere. But before that, I tried to start one called Dead in Motion, and it sort of had two cycles of life. The first time around was okay, but then one of the guitarists who was trying to write music, we found out he was essentially plagiarizing some Japanese band. And then we had to change everything, and we did one performance at my music school, and then nothing after that. And then I tried, like, after I graduated, like, that last semester of music school was really quite rough. So after that, I tried to restart the band. And, like, it was going okay, but then around the same time as when I joined Wintergaunt, and Wintergaunt was going somewhere, so I ended up focusing on that. And the other complication is that with the second round of Dead in Motion, the guitarist Will asked me on a date, and that made things really awkward. You should never date someone in a band. It's a bad idea in the first place, but, like, you know, also I was like, no. You know, it's awkward, because... Anyway, you should never date someone in a band, because if your relationship breaks down, your band is dead. So just avoid that problem. I mean, there are some people who can make it work, but overall, most people don't have the maturity to keep going on once that has happened. So Just don't take the risk, okay? Yeah, so the two things that happened to that was guitarist hitting on me, and then I went to Wintergaunt anyway. And then after Wintergaunt, I tried to start a second version of Wintergaunt. I think originally I tried to start like a sort of solo project, but I ended up just like starting. We only called it like Wintergaunt 2 because one of the guitarist from Wintergaunt also came into this project, and he was a cool dude. But that band, well, this other guitarist came along, and he was a friend of the keyboard player, and the keyboard player had told us, oh, he's just going to come and watch what we're doing, and we're like, okay, cool. But the guitarist, this other guy, he had the idea that he was actually going to be in the band instead of just watching, and we're like, okay. So yeah, and then he turned out to be a Mormon and didn't like my anti-religious lyrics, and really anti-religious lyrics. They were from the song Blind Faith. I don't know if any of you know the song Blind Faith because we haven't released a recording, but we might have videos of it somewhere on YouTube. I don't know. Yeah, that was actually about my experience in the Catholic Church. It had nothing to do with Mormonism. But he had a go at me for it, and I was like, well, this band is sort of like symphonic prog metal, which is not my style. And then I've got this Mormon guy attacking me who was never meant to be in the band in the first place. I'm out. And once I was out, because I started the band, it kind of just collapsed. So, there you go. What was I talking about in my other attempts at starting bands? I don't even know if I had a point there. But I don't know. The paragraph I have open here is about me taking on way too many responsibilities, which does happen. If it's like my band, and even with Wintergaunt, as I said, I ended up doing a lot of band management stuff, but that wasn't as bad. It's just like, I don't know where I was going with that, and I think I'll just stop because, yeah, I'll just stop because I can't remember what I was going to say, and that's all for today. I will see you tomorrow. Good night. Help, where am I? Ah. What happened to the rain? We even got prepared for the big rain in case that leaks again. But no. It's sunny, isn't it, Hopio? Still no rain, hey Hopie!
Cleaner than Halloween Day.
There's no thunder, Hopie. You shaking? No rain yet, though. Oh, oh no. Oh, sweetie, it's okay. Hey, you wanna go out? Is it finally raining? Let's go, let's go. Oh, scary. Oh no. Go on, Hopie. No, you changed your mind. Mally, what do you think? Concerned puppy number 1. Hey Hopie, you worried? Concerned puppy number 2. He's pretending he's not scared, but he is. And happy ants who don't have to deal with the rain anymore.